So I just got upgraded to Xcode 502. It's very important to know what version of Xcode am I using in tutorials so you would know because things are different in different versions of Xcode. So I got version 502 and I was shocked. I just put a button there like I used to. What happened is that, as you see, this is the gradient button type and round rectangle button type. All of them are not here anymore. There's just this button. If I select, it looks like a label. So how to fix that part? I mean, of course, I want one that has rounded rectangles and has a background color. So I'm going to talk about that in this tutorial. One thing was to set the background color. Go down to view. So I am select the button, click, select show the attribute inspector, scroll down to the view, change the background color to dark gray. Sorry, tint. Let's try this one. Yeah, that's the one. Background color. But even then, I saw that it doesn't have rounded rectangles. If I run it, you will see that it does not have rounded rectangle. Some people can call, the rounded rectangle buttons are ugly and all that stuff. But I want my old rounded rectangle buttons. So I set out trying to find out what to do about this. Now that has to be done programmatically. So once I got into that, I looked into it and I saw, well, then should I just do the whole thing programmatically? Just forget about, making the drag and drop user interface designer, but you can have a hybrid of it. I decided that I could live with a hybrid. Drag and drop helps me just position objects quickly, and then programmatically I can take over and do something with them. Number two thing was that I created a IB outlet. Oh, never mind the spellings right here. Let's say I created a IB outlet. The same old way as I show in the other tutorials. Click on the button and click on the connections inspector. Drag referencing outlet. I just renamed it, so that is useless now. So I'm going to do this again. I just cleaned up what I had done before. So referencing outlets. Click, drag, and call it button. How about my button? Creates an IB outlet by button. Now I'm going to jump over to the .m file and create my button. Now what did I call it over there? I call it lowercase. Oops. Finally get it right. Step number 3. I'm gonna take this line I'm gonna make the layer get to the layer of this my button. See a layer. my button layer. My button, call the layer method on it. So now I've got the on my button layer, set mask bounds, yes. Set corner radius 0.5. Run it. I hope it's recording now. Look at this. Now the button has rounded rectangles. So hybrid technique using the storyboard and programmatically. Then I started thinking, saying that what if I do the whole thing programmatically? Will that be better? Uh, I played with it, but it didn't work out that good. I mean, positioning it exactly on a certain position, but let's look at it anyway. Now, to do everything programmatically, I create an instance of a UI button type. I'm going to just call it button. Set the position of it, button.frame. Its position, coordinates. Set button's title. Set title, click me for state UI state normal. Now I'll have to the other thing. I'm going to move this out of the way so things are okay. Now I also need a click button, right? And other thing, the background color, set that programmatically. Add it to the view programmatically. Again, the same technique. Get the layer of that button. And set it to rounded rectangle. Get rid of that. Put this over here. Now we also want to hook up the click event programmatically. Here are some more properties. Its title is, no, that's another one. Let's just run that. Here you go. This button is done totally programmatically. Now what if I want click events? UI button rounded rectangle. Its bounds. Set its frame. Set the title for the normal state. Set the title for the highlighted state. Shows touch is yes, that property. Here are the events. You see, add target, self, action, selector, button down, colon. Colon means it's going to take some parameters. Add target, a method, button release. So that when I click on it, when I release it, these two buttons are going to be fired. The view add subview rounded rectangle button. And here are those methods up there. They would look like that. Button down, ID center, that's the parameter, that colon, that's what it meant. Button release, that's its signature, from the documentation. That's how name is mine, but it'll take this parameter. It'll be, minus void and all that. So I just every time I need one, I just keep copying and pasting it. Get rid of that. So almost it sounds like programmatically, there's a lot of, you could just copy and paste code snippets and do it even faster than storyboard. Let's look at it. Normal state. No, I didn't do the rounded rectangle logic. Highlight it. You see, push down, released. How it changes up here to highlight it, and as whenever I click it, events are getting fired. When I release it, when I push it down. Now I could go even further and do the same technique on this button right here. And I would copy and paste button layer 2, just modify slightly and see if I can get rounded rectangles. Nope, because why? I don't have the background color. So I could copy and paste on rounded rectangle. Just change that and give it a try. Here we go. And it also has this effect of highlighting. That's one of the properties there. So positioning using the storyboard a little bit easier. Once you get the hang of it, I mean, they're almost like copying and pasting code snippets if you want more than one button. After a while, I think that would be just as easy. So I'm getting a lot more into programmatically doing everything. Getting to like that now that, you know, drag and drop was easy to get started. Now I think even for more advanced programming, real programmers probably should move towards doing everything programmatically.